You feel it every day, don't you? That quiet ache deep in your chest, like a shadow that never leaves, whispering that something's missing. Something essential was stolen from you long ago. It's not just a bad mood or random anxiety. It's the lifelong scar of emotional neglect from your childhood, the kind where your parents were there physically but absent in every way that mattered. They fed you, clothed you, maybe even said the right word sometimes, but they never truly saw you, never tuned into your feelings, never made you feel like your inner world was worth exploring. And that neglect didn't just hurt back then, it rewired your brain, turning you into someone who navigates life with invisible walls, craving connection but fearing it, achieving but sabotaging, loving but holding back. This isn't some distant memory you can brush off. It's the dark psychology shaping your decisions right now, controlling how you love, work, and see yourself. And if you don't face it, it will keep stealing your potential until there's nothing left but regret. Picture this. You're 5 years old, sitting in the living room after a tough day at school where a kid pushed you down, and your heart is racing with confusion and hurt. You look up at your mom, tears welling, ready to spill it all, but she's staring at the TV, barely glancing your way, muttering, "It's fine, go play." No hug, no questions about how you feel, no validation that your pain matters. In that moment, your young brain learns a brutal lesson. Your emotions are not important. They are a burden, something to swallow alone. Fast forward to today. You're in a meeting at work with a brilliant idea that could change everything. But when it's your turn to speak, you hesitate, your throat tightens, and you let the moment pass. Why? Because that child inside you still believes sharing your inner self risks dismissal. So you stay safe in silence, watching others take the credit while you burn inside. That's the dark psychology at play. Emotional neglect taught you that vulnerability leads to rejection. So you built armor. But that armor is now your cage, limiting your success and leaving you isolated even in a crowd. And it's not just one incident. It's the accumulation, the daily drip of neglect that seeps into your psyche like poison. Your dad comes home from work, exhausted, and instead of asking how your day was, he heads straight to his chair, newspaper in hand, grunting responses if you try to engage. You learn quickly, don't bother him with your stories, your excitement, your fears. Your emotions are secondary to his fatigue. So you retreat to your room, imagining conversations that never happen, building a rich fantasy world where you're heard. But in reality, this creates a split, an outer self that's compliant, quiet, undemanding, and an inner self that's screaming for attention. As an adult, this split shows up in your relationships. You pick partners who are emotionally distant, mirroring your parents, because familiarity feels like love. You give everything, anticipate their needs, but when it's your turn to express a feeling, you minimize it, say it's no big deal, because deep down, you expect they'll dismiss it just like mom and dad did. And when they do, it confirms you're wound. You're not worth the effort. The cycle continues, and you wonder why love always feels one-sided, why you end up resentful, pulling away before they can hurt you more. Dive deeper with me, because you know this pattern all too well. Emotional neglect isn't loud abuse. It's the absence, the void where care should be, and that void echoes louder than screams. Psychologists call it childhood emotional neglect, but let's call it what it is, a theft of your emotional birthright. Your brain, developing in that environment, didn't get the mirrors it needed, parents reflecting back your feelings, helping you name them, validate them. Instead, you learn to doubt your own emotions. Am I overreacting? Is this really a problem? This leads to chronic self-doubt in adulthood, where you second-guess every decision, from career moves to personal boundaries. Remember that job offer you turned down, even though it was perfect? You convinced yourself it was too good to be true, that you'd fail and be exposed. That's a neglect talking. Your child's self believes you're not deserving the good things, so you push them away before they can prove you unworthy. It's dark, isn't it? That subconscious drive to stay small, to avoid the spotlight, because being seen means risking the pain of being ignored all over again. Let's make it real with a story you might see yourself in. I knew a man named Alex, sharp as a blade, full of ideas that could revolutionize his field. As a kid, his parents were workaholics, dad in the office till late, mom buried in her books. He'd come home with drawings or stories, excited to share, but they'd nod absent-mindedly, say that's nice, and turn away. No questions, no enthusiasm, no engagement. Alex learned his creativity wasn't worth their time. Fast forward 30 years. He's in a high-stakes meeting, pitching a game-changing project. Halfway through, he sees a colleague's distracted glance, and panic floods him. The old wound opens. He rushes the presentation, omits key details, and the deal falls through. Later, alone, he realizes he sabotaged it on purpose, because success would mean being seen, being heard, and his psyche still equates that with dismissal. You do this too, don't you? In small ways, delaying that email to a potential client, avoiding networking events where you might shine, choosing safe jobs over ambitious ones. The dark psychology here is self-protection turned self-destruction. Your brain prefers the familiar pain of failure over the unknown terror of being valued and then let down. And the effects ripple into every corner of your life. In friendships, you're the listener, the one everyone confides in. But when it's your turn, you change the subject. Why? Because sharing feels like begging for attention you were denied as a child. So you build walls, appear strong, but inside, loneliness festers. You manipulate subtly, giving advice to feel needed, withholding your own vulnerabilities to maintain control. It's a dark cycle. You crave closeness but fear it will expose your unworthiness. Sexually, it shows up as disconnection. You're present physically but emotionally distant, struggling to express desires because needs were ignored early on. You attract partners who neglect you emotionally, repeating the pattern, and wonder why intimacy feels empty. Even your health suffers. Chronic stress from suppressed emotions leads to anxiety, depression, gut issues. Your body holds a score of what your mind won't release. But here's where the hypnosis pulls you in deeper. You can change this. The lifelong effects aren't a life sentence. They are mapped to your power. Start by acknowledging the wound. I was never heard, and that hurt me. Feel the emotion. Don't push it away. Then, reparent yourself. Give your inner child what was missing. Speak to yourself kindly. Your feelings matter. I hear you now. Practice in safe spaces. Share a small truth with a trusted friend. Notice how it feels to be heard. Build from there. In therapy, explore attachment styles. Yours is likely avoidant or disorganized from a neglect. Use shadow work to integrate the dark parts, the manipulator in you, the saboteur. Journal the times you hold back. Ask why. Trace it back to childhood. Gradually, your voice strengthens. You set boundaries without fear. Express needs without shame. Pursue success without self-destruction. Imagine the freedom. Relationships where you're fully seen. A career where you claim your space. A life where emotions flow freely. That's a reward, turning the dark psychology into light. The unheard child becomes the empowered adult, using observation as wisdom, silence as choice, not default. You feel the pull to act, don't you? That's the wound healing. Comment heard now if this unlocked something. Share your story, the moment you realize you were never heard. Subscribe for more revelations that transform your shadows. Share with the one who's too quiet. They need this. You're heard here. Speak. Live.